In my last video, I did an overview and a 100-mile review of the Siskiu D7. I gave the bike high praise because of its wallet-friendly price point. I did hit on some minor negatives, but quite a few viewers were wanting me to elaborate more on what I didn't like about the bike. Hate is definitely a strong word, but everything in this video I mentioned is not a deal breaker for me, and some of the negatives can be changed with a simple upgrade. That being said, here are the 5 things I hate about my Polygon Siskiu D7. The stock handlebars drive me crazy. The diameter and the rise are not the problem with me, but the width is the biggest issue I have with them. Modern bikes come stock with super wide bars, but the trails I ride are really narrow and twisty, which makes wide bars a liability. I could easily cut down the bars or get some new ones, so it's a pretty easy problem to get rid of. As an entry-level bike that I only paid $1,200 for, they had to cut costs in certain areas to maximize the value, and the SLX shifter is one place that Polygon cheaped out. To me, the SLX shifter is unnecessarily bulky, and I'm not a fan of having 2 different directions to upshift with. They did spend the money where it matters, and that was with the XT derailleur, but again, I wish they would have put an XT shifter to match. This is something that I could easily upgrade down the line, but the SLX will do the job for now. So this one may be a combination of the crank arm length and the bottom bracket height, but when I first started riding the bike, I was constantly pedal striking. I brought this up in a group discussion, and many people suggested that I check my sag on my front fork and rear shock. Everything was in the recommended guidelines, I was still pedal striking. It's just something I have to get used to. I have to be more intentional with picking my lines and knowing when to pedal. The wheel and tire combination that comes on the bike isn't my favorite. I do like the Trail Boss as a rear tire, but I wanted something more aggressive up front. And the included Trail Boss tires are not tubeless ready, so I had to drop some money right away to go tubeless. Also, I don't know if the design of the rims is supposed to be more durable or what, but they're not exactly centered. They have an offset design. This makes it really hard for the O-ring to seat properly with my tubeless valves. I've had to retape and readjust my valve stem a couple times because I've had leaks right at the O-ring. I am a big fan of the two-tone paint scheme, but the sandy color paint has been something of a headache. I found that it's difficult to get grease marks off of the paint, and it scuffs easily. When the bike was delivered to me, the paint was already chipping in areas, which wasn't a huge deal to me, but I do think they should have gone with a gloss all over. So that's it. Those are the 5 things I hate about my Polygon Siskiu D7. Again, it is a lot of bike for the price, but these are just a few negatives that I have noticed about the bike. If you like content like this and want to see more about the Polygon, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe to stay up to date with the channel.
Well, that was sweet. We're still going. Yeah. Woo! More. Not in the right gear.